Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another Mandela Effect video for you guys. It makes me so damn happy that you guys still like these videos, and new people like these videos, which honestly, iconic. This is something I genuinely talk about all of the time in my daily life. Like, anytime I misremember a single thing, the first conclusion is Mandela Effect, obviously. These new Mandela Effects are going to make you question your reality. Alright, the first Mandela Effect I want to talk about, since we're getting nostalgic here, I just want to talk about Berenstain Bears again, because what the hell. And give me 20 seconds to make my case for the Berenstain Bears, and why I know for a fact it was not the Berenstain Bears. My sister and I, we watched children's shows as teenagers sometimes. Like, we would really like Charlie and Lola, I remember, and Max and Ruby. Like, we watched them when we were like in middle school, like a little too old to be watching children's shows, but we just loved them, and we would just do that together. It was our thing. It was cute. Berenstain Bears was one of those shows that we watched, which I feel like a lot of people just read the books. I watched the TV show, and I know for a fucking fact it's a Berenstain Bears. It was never Berenstain Bears. That's insane. And honestly, I truly think if not for the Berenstain Bears, I would have never been this passionate about Mandela Effects, because to me that one's unexplainable. Absolutely unexplainable, because it was 100,000% Berenstain, and I know it. I was there. No. I mean, and that's not even memories from me being a child. That's memories from me being like 12. Like, that's, I mean, yeah, still a child, but that's not that young. It's not like I was 4 years old reading the Berenstain Bears books. No. I was like 12 or 13 watching the Berenstain Bears TV show, and I know it was Berenstain Bears. And if you remember Berenstain Bears, actually let me know in the comments below so I can block you, because I'm scared of you. Alright, the next two Mandela Effects come from the Vampire Diaries. You guys know, for the past, I don't know, 4 months, I've just been, like, I started the Vampire Diaries. That was the first time I ever watched the show, was 4 months ago. And I go from Vampire Diaries to the originals to Legacies, and then just back to Vampire Diaries, originals, Legacies, and now I'm back at Vampire Diaries again. And I noticed this Mandela Effect on my second watch, and I wanted to see if anyone else, like, because it made me feel crazy, because I had just watched it, like, 2 months before that, so I know that things were this way, but this is going to contain spoilers, so just so you know. The first Vampire Diaries one I want to talk about is, I remember Damon killing Vicky, not Stefan. When I saw Stefan do that, I was literally like, wait, what? No. I 100% remember it being Damon, because it makes no sense. If it was Stefan, he would have just snapped Vicky's neck and locked her in the basement thing and, like, had her control her vampirism. There's no way Stefan would have done that. There's just no way. Especially in front of Jeremy, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't remember it like that at all. I know it was Damon. Speaking of Damon killing people, as we all know, all too well, towards the end of the series, Damon killed Tyler Lockwood. I remember that. But if you ask me how he killed Tyler, 100,000% he ripped his heart out, because I remember it being very clear cut that Tyler was dead, which the only way they can kind of do that in the show, to me, is like sometimes lighting them on fire, but sometimes they still live through that, or ripping their heart out. Like, that's like, you're dead. I remember Damon rips out Tyler's heart. 100,000%. No. He actually just always started drinking his blood, which I don't recall whatsoever. I think it was during the time where Damon was, like, only drinking vampire blood, but so, like, that kind of makes sense. But I remember it being very clear that Tyler was dead. Let me know what you remember, especially if you're a big Vampire Diaries fan. I need to know, because these two things have been driving me crazy. Alright, the next Mandela Effect came up recently when I was talking to someone, and I was talking about Marilyn Monroe and how she's buried at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. This was always a thought that I had. It was something I knew. I have never been to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, because cemeteries obviously kind of creep me out, but I just 100% remember hearing that Marilyn Monroe was buried there. That's always what I believed. I don't know why she wouldn't be, but she's not. She's buried somewhere in Brentwood. And if someone can relate to this, please let me know. All right, the next Mandela Effect is all about Times Square. I'm a New Yorker. I've always remembered Times Square just being called Times Square. Why has it always been Times Square? Plural? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely, it was always Times Square. You don't say, I'm going to Times Square. It's you're going to Times Square. Well, you shouldn't ever be going to Times Square because why are you going there? Just please let me know what you remember because that one actually makes me feel a little nuts. I got 2 spelling ones that I know people are going to call me stupid for. I know. I have a degree. Am I good at spelling? I feel like I'm not actually that bad at it. So it is interesting, but these are 2 inexplicable, I don't know why I remember them being spelled differently. They just are. But vacuum. I always remember vacuum being spelled like this. I think a lot of people actually do agree with me on vacuum, but it's always been spelled like this. No. Like 2 U's? Absolutely not. All right, the next couple of Mandela effects are holiday related. I think this specific Mandela effect, or these 2 specific ones, come up every year around Thanksgiving, and I never agree with this first one, which is that people remember Thanksgiving being the 3rd Thursday of November. I don't remember that, but a lot of you guys always tell me how much you promise that Thanksgiving was always the 3rd Thursday of November, but it's actually always been the 4th Thursday of November. Let me know what you remember on that, because I personally remember it being the 4th Thursday, but maybe I'm just from a different timeline. And this one gets me. This one really gets me. Thanksgiving, the best part of Thanksgiving is Stouffer stovetop stuffing. Without shadow of a doubt. But it's always just been Kraft stovetop stuffing. Never Stouffer's. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I find that to be so upsetting. It's insane. This next Mandela effect is kind of niche. I saw it on TikTok, so it's actually not that niche because other people have realized it too. But I thought this for a whole different reason. So recently, I feel like all of a sudden I've been seeing a trend of people doing upside down Christmas trees. It started with Kourtney Kardashian. She posted her upside down Christmas tree. And I remember thinking in my head, oh, this is because of Sweetener by Ariana Grande. And I don't know why I thought that. I can't really explain that. I did think that Ariana Grande invented the upside down Christmas tree trend. Anyway, she didn't. I thought it was because of the Sweetener album because that's upside down. It's not. Apparently upside down Christmas trees have always been a thing, and I have legit never seen that in my life until like this year. So what is that? What is that? The fact that it's been a thing for so long is perplexing because I've actually never seen a Christmas tree upside down until Kourtney Kardashian's post. For the first time I've ever seen it. And again, I thought it was because of Ariana Grande's Sweetener album, which actually makes no sense because it wasn't even when Sweetener came out. I don't know why I just thought that and kept it moving. But it's always been a thing that people do. Like, it's tradition, and a lot of people tend to do this. And I've never seen it before. And I think it's so strange. And I saw someone on TikTok talking about it in the sense of a Mandela effect. They agree with me that that's not a thing. Another Christmas Mandela effect that upsets a lot of people. Santa Claus was always spelled with a frickin' E at the end. I know it. I know it. And I know it because of the Santa Claus movies, which are actually spelled with the E at the end, but that's kind of a joke. Because of the Santa Claus, like, isn't the clause that makes him become Santa Claus, like a lawyer clause. Cool. But I know Santa Claus is spelled with an E. It looks so incorrect to me when people spell Santa Claus like this with no E at the end. I can't subscribe to that. That's wrong. That's wrong. And I only ever find a couple people that agree with me on that, and y'all can call me stupid all you want, but I know it had an E. I know it did. All right, this is another Mandela effect that comes up a lot during the holidays, and it is the I'll be home for Christmas Mandela effect. A lot of people remember the words being I'll be home for Christmas, you can count on me. But the original lyrics in most versions of this song, including like the Bing Crosby version, like all of the popular ones, Frank Sinatra, etc., the lyrics are actually, you can plan on me. No. Like, actually, no. There's no way it's ever been that, but it is in a lot of the classic songs that I listen to, which is insane. The last little Christmassy Mandela effect we're going to talk about has to do with Frosty the Snowman. Tell me why Buddy's naked now. I swear he always had a scarf. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? There's actually... It looks so incorrect. Like, so incorrect. It actually kind of scares me. Let me know if you remember no scarf, because if you do, you're insane. And I know Frosty the Snowman. The next Mandela effect I want to talk about is actually proof of another Mandela effect that we've spoken about before, and it's about Ed McMahon's Publishers Clearinghouse Mandela effect. So basically, a lot of people remember Ed McMahon being kind of like the sponsor of Publishers Clearinghouse, and he was like the one that showed up on your porch with like $1 million check. He never did this. He was never working with or for Publishers Clearinghouse whatsoever. But on The Nanny, they literally mention it.
Something told me to rewatch The Nanny. Now we all know we're not crazy.
Your grandmother is such a sucker. She thinks she's a finalist in Ed McMahon's Publishers Clearinghouse.
Why would they mention it if that wasn't what was happening? Why? Why? They wouldn't. The answer is that they wouldn't. Actually insane. All right, the next Mandela effect is another one that I can personally attest to. I know Hawaiian Punch. Unfortunately, I know Hawaiian Punch. As a kid, I loved that shit. I would go through phases where that would be the only thing that I drank. I mean, I feel like I kind of look like that would be a phase that I had. I didn't get this way drinking only water, you know? But I always remember the Hawaiian Punch little character on him, like having red hair. 100,000%. Why the fuck has that always been a hat? A hat. No. Literally no. I've never been so fucking perplexed by a Mandela effect before, because when I saw this, I was like, There's simply no way, because I would stare at that shit. I always looked at cereal boxes and labels on things like shampoos, anything. I would always get bored. Could be ADHD or something, I actually don't know. But I wouldn't be able to just like sit still. I would have to be reading something, but I wasn't allowed to like watch TV while I ate. So I would just like read the packages for entertainment. But apparently he's never been a ginger. He's just always had a red hat. No, it makes me uncomfortable because that's so incorrect. This next Mandela effect actually makes me feel insane. The show, Arthur. My favorite show. My parents called me DW growing up, which now I take as a compliment of the highest regards because she's fucking iconic. But I digress. The Arthur theme song, I always remember the lyrics being like, hey, what a wonderful kind of day where we can learn to laugh and play and get along with each other. Why has the lyrics always been, what a wonderful kind of day where we can learn to work and play? Work? They're kids. They're children. That's child labor. You're not putting them to work. That's insane. What do you mean work and play? Like schoolwork, I guess? Maybe? But like what? No. Just learn to laugh and play. 100,000. Don't even know. So wrong. Work and play. If you remember work and play, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to you. Maybe you had a bad childhood because maybe you were forced to work as a child as well. Because clearly the cast of Arthur, like they're not cartoons. But clearly someone was putting them to work. And I don't like that. Alright, the next one actually really freaked me out. Webkinz and Club Penguin. If you had to guess, would you say that these games came out the same year? Or would you say that they came out years apart, Club Penguin being the latter? Why was Webkinz only a couple months before Club Penguin? Like, Webkinz came out in April of 2005, which is incorrect in my book. It should be 2003 probably. And then Club Penguin came out the same year in October. Absolutely not. I remember playing Club Penguin when I was a bit older, and Webkinz was very much when I was little. I remember like Webkinz and Neopets being like the same vibe. Neopets came out in 1999. That feels correct. I feel like Webkinz was like 2003. if I had to guess. 2005! And not only does 2005 feel wrong, but the fact that it basically came out at the same time as Club Penguin is vastly incorrect, because I remember Club Penguin coming out and I could have sworn I lived in a house that I didn't live in until 2006. So that's insane. That's insane. No. 90s / early 2000s babies, please help me out. Let me know you agree with me, because that one just like actually hurt me. Especially because honestly, if this were true, I wouldn't even bothered with Webkinz, because I was fully a Club Penguin girly through and through. And if I could have just switched to Club Penguin like after that shit dropped, I wouldn't have even played Webkinz ever. So no, I know that's not true. I know it was before 2005. I just know it. All right, the next Mandela Effect is another lyric Mandela Effect. So this Mandela Effect really confuses me. It's the song Magic by B.O.B. I always remember like thinking that the words was everybody wants some presto magic, like presto magic. Why is the lyrics everybody wants a blast of magic? Absolutely not. Presto magic. It sounds like he's saying presto magic. In fact, as a child, when I heard this song, I thought it was Prestal, and I didn't know what that was. And I remember looking it up and being like, oh, it's Presto. It's not. It's Blast of Magic. No. All right, the next Mandela Effect is from iCarly. I cannot believe that this didn't happen, because I don't know why it's so vividly in my head. Maybe I just wanted it to happen in some weird way. I remember Miss Benson and Tebow dating, but that did not happen. And I'm perplexed by it. Like, I for sure remember the dynamic of Tebow obviously being, like, way more chill and Miss Benson being fucking uptight as hell. And I remember that being, like, a dynamic and Freddie being annoyed that they were dating, and that never fucking happened. Like, yes, Tebow did live with Mrs. Benson and Freddie for, like, a minute, and he became very prim and proper and, like, annoying like Miss Benson. But they never dated, and I thought for sure that that was part of the plot. But let me know what you remember. Alright, the last two Mandela Effects we're going to talk about before we get into the emoji Mandela Effects have to do with Wicked / Wizard of Oz. First one, everyone, I including myself, remembers the Wicked Witch saying to the flying monkeys, "Fly, my pretties, fly." Why has the words always been just fly, fly, fly?
Now fly! Fly!
No, that sounds so incorrect. I cannot even begin to describe it. And the last Mandela Effect before we get into the emojis, I cannot agree with this one. I've never thought this before, but a lot of people since the Wicked movie came out are saying that they remember Glinda and the Wicked Witch of the West being sisters in The Wizard of Oz. I personally, I don't know. I've never heard that or remembered that. Because then, like, what, there's 3 of them with, like, the Wicked Witch of the East. I don't know, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. If you remember it, let me know, but I've never have heard that before, so I disagree. And I'm a Wicked girly through and through. All right, the last Mandela Effects we're going to talk about is people remembering these emojis that actually never existed. The first one I want to talk about is a clothes hanger. For sure, I thought that there was a black clothes hanger emoji with a little silver. Why doesn't it exist? It has never existed. That's nuts to me. I don't like that. The next emoji I for sure remember being there is the solo cup emoji. I know that I used this shit in high school and it just doesn't exist. And it never has. And I'm really perplexed by that because I know for a fact that I've used that emoji before. No, never existed. All right, the next one's so insane that I have to look it up every time I've read this, is that the lava lamp emoji doesn't exist. I know that shit existed. It's purple and pinkish color. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they have a lava lamp emoji? Why wouldn't they? 100% it existed. But apparently not. Alright, the next emoji that I'm literally so sure exists that I get perplexed anytime I see this. There is no igloo emoji. None. And I know that that has to be incorrect. I can see it so vividly in my head. Are you trying to tell me that I just made that up? All right, the next emoji Mandela Effect is a little niche. Blueberry muffin emoji. I remember there being a blueberry muffin emoji very well with a little pink casing, like cupcake holder. 100%. It's never existed. Never. And there's nothing even similar that looks correct to me. There is no muffin emoji at all, which I think is hateful, honestly. All right, the last Mandela effect we're going to talk about is the starfish emoji. I can picture this so perfectly in my head. The fact that it has never existed is like actually clinically insane to me. It was orange, I know it, like pinkish orange, 100,000%, like the fucking seahorse emoji that also doesn't exist. Like, why are you taking away these emojis? I don't understand, but they're not taking them away. They never existed in the first place, which is nuts. Ugh, I'm getting stressed out. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these Mandela effects, and if you have any other Mandela effects, let us know in the comments below. Even if they're personal ones, I love reading personal Mandela effect stories, so let us know below. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.